It was quite a spiritual experience receiving this message. I initially thought that the message was about romantic love, but I realized quickly, and as it unfolded, that it was not at all about romantic love, but instead it was about loving the world and your fellow man, and how it all starts with loving ourselves. That's the first part of the message. You must love and accept yourself in order to have the love and acceptance available to give to others. If you don't have it for yourself, you don't have it to give. But it has been very hard, almost impossible to find love in our world in the last few years. The world has been a very dark and very depressing place. I feel the air has been stagnant and lifeless at its best, and really hateful and vengeful at its worst. Intolerance has reigned throughout our land. It has been almost a civil war without the actual violence, but definitely with an emotional context. It has been hard to breathe, much less find love. There seemed to be no place to go and no way to move forward. Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. That's a quote from Martin Luther King. And yet it was difficult to find light or love. But God is saying today that lightness is beginning to shine. Where there was only darkness, it is starting to shine through. The energy seems a bit lighter. The world is changing. You will find that you will be able to breathe again. You will find a lighter energy, a kinder place, a more peaceful and happier world. We have a long way to go, but we are starting to turn the corner. And the more that we all let go of the negative things that we are holding on to, the lighter and happier and more beautiful our world will become. God is asking us all now to let go of all the negative energy that is not serving us and to transmute the energy into gratitude, or at least into a lesson that we can use to somehow or in some way turn the negative energy into a positive energy. As I'm talking to you right now, I have my picture wall above me in my living room here. It grounds me and reminds me where I come from. And on that picture wall is a picture that my dad bought me when I was maybe 8 or 9, I think. We went to the dime store. I don't know if you'll remember or even know what I'm talking about when I say dime store. That will pretty much date me. But anyway, he bought me an inexpensive picture that I liked. The reason I have it on my wall now is because it meant so much to me. It was one of only 2 times that I spent any time alone with my dad, just me and him. I had 3 brothers and he spent all of his time with them, and really I don't think he knew what to do with me. We never really had a relationship. I know he loved me, but we didn't really get to know each other. For a long time after he died, I cried all the time about that. And one of the things that I cried about was how hurt I was that I was not really important in his life. I blamed myself until I realized it wasn't my fault. I was the child. He was the adult. It wasn't my fault. I did nothing wrong. And really, either did he. It was just a relationship that wasn't meant to be more than it was. Nevertheless, I never really got a chance to know my dad on a personal level. I mean, he would tell stories of his past, so I knew who he was pretty much, but he never really got to know me. And now that opportunity is gone. I've always felt very sad and hurt and depressed and unhappy when I thought about that situation, until I ended up turning it around. Instead of all the negative aspects and the oh poor me aspects, I changed it all to being appreciative that I was able to have 2 wonderful experiences with my dad, and I always get to keep those memories. I was lucky that I had a dad who took care of me, and I know he loved me. So I turned what I previously perceived as a negative and hurtful situation to one of gratitude. And that is just a little example, but you can do that with anything. It's not always easy, but the way you feel about anything comes from how you choose to perceive it. When it comes right down to it, it's your choice, and you can always decide to choose differently. We all have to love more. We all have to give more. But it must start within each of us. It starts with us loving ourselves. It must start here. If we don't have love for ourselves, we don't have the love to give. It is not selfish to take care of yourself. It is essential. You have to put your own oxygen mask on first, right? It really is the most unselfish thing you can do. And in order to love ourselves, we must get rid of the hurt and the blame and the anger from all of the things we have lived through. No one on this earth gets off scot-free. The reason we are here is so that we can learn through the things we live through. But we have to let go of the hurt and anger. We keep it because we feel so entitled. But the reality is that it's not serving us in any way, and the only one that it's hurting is the one who is holding on to the hurt. And that's you. And all you're doing is prolonging your pain. It's time to let it go. Try to let go of the hurt and the anger and all the bad relationships and the hurtful things that people said and did to you. None of it really means anything in the long run. You are the one that is primarily being affected negatively by any of it. So there's really no point in keeping it around to continue to hurt you or make you feel bad or shameful or guilty or not good enough. And even though you are the one who is primarily affected, the overall negativity and unhappiness just contributes to the energy on our planet. The negative energy that you are experiencing contributes to the overall energy of darkness that's present on our planet. It is essential for you and for all of humanity to try and let it go. Try to look at the situation or event and find anything positive that came from it. If you look at it from a more positive view, you'll see that you most likely learned something, so take that lesson as something good. Or maybe it made you stronger, so be grateful for that. At the very least, it has helped to make you who you are today. So thank goodness for that, because you are awesome and beautiful and a light in our world. The more you can let go of the negativity, the more brightly your light will shine. The more we can all let go, the lighter our energy will be for us as a society, and the faster we'll uplift to a more beautiful world right here on earth. God is saying that it is really all up to us. His message is that we are at a place in our cycle of humanity on earth that we can make it anything we want. We are at a time of transformation. It's a new beginning. We have been waiting for this for a long time. It has been a long and arduous path, and we have been working toward it and building up to it, and the time is now. This is a time of magic and pure potential. We must decide on a personal level what we want our life to look like. What do we want our human existence to look like? What do we want life to look like? Now is the time to decide. And within that decision is the question, can we let go of the things that are keeping us stuck and in the same place? Can we let go or transmute those feelings and that energy so that it will allow us to uplift. We have gained a lot of wisdom, and it's time that we use it to create a beautiful world for ourselves. It's time to raise our energy, thereby raising the collective conscious energy. Try to turn anything negative into something positive, a lesson, gratitude for what you've learned, love and appreciation for yourself and what you've been through. Take the time for the self-care that's necessary. Take the time to really decide how you want your life to look. And most importantly, come from love in all things. Oh, and wear gold. I know it seems random, but I'm being told that right now gold is a magical color that will help you let go and to love.